I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be with this. Here's our Panorex Ceph machine. Apparently they're having a problem with the Ceph. I've taken pans before, but not cephs. So let's see what happens. I don't have a good feeling. Turn this on. Standard pan. All right. Take this out. Put it over here. I don't want to mess the machine up. Okay. Yeah, the problem is I don't do this, so I have no idea what this... That's the pan. I guess the Ceph is on the side here, like that. Yeah, Ceph Max. Now let me see. Reset maybe? All right, this has to turn around though. This has to turn. Ceph F4. So let me do this. Let me lower this down and take these screws out and look at this thing. Lower it. Turn it off. I'm going to unplug it just so I don't break it. Pull this off and we'll look. Okay, here we are. All right, let's see here. So I paused the video right here. What you need to be aware of is this black Opti switch right there. And it needs to be centered on that slit on the metal. And obviously it's not. So if it's not centered, the machine's not gonna run, it's gonna throw that code. So you can center it by doing one of two things. Either you can move the metal piece to the right in order to center it on the black fixed Opti switch, or you can move the entire carriage, in other words, the entire thing that's attached to. And the way to do that is to loosen up the belt, and then the entire carriage you can move to the right or left, and that carriage will take along with it the bracket which has a slit in it. All right, 1118, that's lined up. It's off a little bit, but not crazy. Whoa. This looks like this is this is about to go bad right here. I think that does not look good right there. You know what? All right, so I think this Opti switch right here has to be in the middle of this thing right here. I think I have to move this over. So let's see. I seem to remember this right here. So this is a mistake. You don't want to do this. What I did was move the metal piece. You don't want to move the metal piece. I wound up putting it back to where it was. What you want to do is move the entire carriage by loosening up the belt. Like this. Even though moving this metal piece was wrong, what it did was it showed me once I moved it into the center, the code went away. So the error code went away. So I was able to realize that, aha, this is the ultimate end result is I need this opti switch in the middle in order for the machine to work. Okay. What's the chance of this working now? All right, so let's do this. I'll plug this back in. Turn it on. DMU not ready. That might have been it. That might have been it. Let's see. That'd be great if that was. All right. Let's see what happens when I push the button. All right. All right. That's fixed. Reset. All right, so that's it. All right, well, I think I'm gonna move this back to where it was because I think what I have to do is loosen this and move the whole belt. It's been years since I've had to do this. So what I did was I went back to the video. This thing is gonna snap, unfortunately. All right. I'm looking to see how it was before. This was over to the left. I think it was like this. Let's loosen this up. Loosen, loosen. I think it was about like this. I'm gonna go back and look. Looks like that's what it was. Yeah, it was more than halfway. It was like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the whole carriage to the right. In other words, loosen up the tension on his belt and slide the whole thing over. Let me just figure out how you do this. All right, so there's a locking bolt, and a not locking bolt. I think if I unlock this, take the tension off this, I can move the whole thing, the whole belt, the whole thing towards me. So let's try that. Because otherwise it's going to mess up the alignment of the heads with each other. Not the alignments of the heads with each other, just the alignment of the collimators or whatever. So let's see here. All right, so I drew a little line on top of this, I guess, showing that it's going to be locking. So let me unlock this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I don't have such a great camera here. Okay, so I'm just loosening this inner one. Now let's take the outer one. Now I'm loosening that. Now I should be able to slide. Now it's really loose. I should be able to slide this whole carriage to the right. Like that. And it broke. Perfect. All right, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let's see here. Okay. What if I could staple this? (2520M). Gates 25. It says Gates 2520MXL. Let's see. Gosh. Let's see here. One screw. Two. I guess this is just a clamp. Let's see. See how this is clamped on over here. the hell is this? It's pointed out. It's weird. And that's the top. So the service manual tells you how to replace the belt. You're supposed to cut your own, and there are two clamps. One clamp clamps each side, and it kind of holds it together. I figured, let me just take this apart and see what it looks like. So I used this Allen key. I took apart both sides of the clamp, and much to my happiness, I should say, the belt that was originally on there was a big loop. It wasn't two halves that were connected together. It was one big loop. Well, what that means is since it snapped, now you're dealing with basically the same thing as if I was replacing the belt. In other words, only one break in a long piece. In other words, like one long piece of belt. So all I did was I moved the piece that broke, and I clamped each half of that piece that broke with the clamp. So one on the left and one on the right. I just moved it over, and I was able to make a new belt out of it. So in other words, the existing belt didn't have two breaks like I thought it would when I removed the clamp. It only had the one break that you saw happen. So I was able to make another belt out of it, even though I purchased another one. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm clamping the left, I'm clamping the right, and then it's going to be one loop again. So hopefully what I can do here is take the two halves that broke and attach them both to two halves of this. Like so. Clamp this back on, then it'll work. This, of course, after I bought another. I need better eyes. All right. Let's see. We can line this up. Tighten this. Tighten this after I bought another thing. Okay. Now this is in the middle. This is a little tighter. Okay. All right, this is in the middle. So now I'm going to try to run this and see what happens. I think that's it. Putting this freaking thing back together. I'll show you what the pan looks like. That's Ceph, rather. All right, the fact that that's a circle like that means that it's shooting it directly through, I think, the side there. So I think we're good. Let's reset this. Let's make sure it lines up. Yes, that lines up there. The belt snapped. So what I did was, I thought they took a large belt and this is clamping one part of it, that's clamping the other part, because that was the intention. What actually happened is it was one continuous belt. And since it snapped, I took the broken part and I clamped one side here, one side there. So I was able to fix the belt. I tensioned it back and it seems to be good now. They don't make this belt anymore. I just ordered $45 shipping for 2 parts. It has the number on it. It's got the pitch and the whole thing. It's S137AG is the kind of belt, but who cares? Thought it was the same as this one. I think the pitch on this one's different. This one says S028AG. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I got 2 big belts. I think these are all the same. But whatever. It works.